everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the 6th season of the NASCAR Class C Maconi Fixed Series. This evening, we're excited to be bringing you top sport action for the weekly strength of field race for the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including the top split for this series and Fast Fridays. No matter what you are racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Justin Prince, joined alongside by Arkham and Art Series racer Brayton Laster. DJ Line works the controls tonight as our producer. Brayton, we've seen a mix of every type of track so far this season, but as we start the second half of the season, we're taking the trucks to Stafford for the first time in its history. With that in mind, what can we expect to see here tonight?
Yeah, the last short track visit here on the 2025 Season 1 schedule, and it is going to be a barn burner. This track offers multiple bold grooves of racing. You're going to prefer that bottom starting out, and you can run that middle and higher lane. Maybe you want to try and get a run side by side, stick the nose inside someone, and make a move.
This track has a lot of history when you look back at it. It was a horse track as far back as the 1870s, but stock car racing has reigned supreme since the late 1950s. It's also home to things such as the SK Modifieds. It's one of the first short tracks that actually heavily implemented the safer barriers. In real life, they started installing them in recent years. But how are things looking for the championship is a bigger question for these drivers. J-Bo comes into this weekend leading the points by nearly 200 over Dakota Lawn.
J-Bo can pretty much put his arm on the window ledge there and go on a Sunday cruise. But he needs a big turnaround season for him. And look at the tracks remaining. There's not a whole lot of drop weeks where they're going to expect to lose a ton of points. So J-Bo looking to get a championship here this season currently.
We'll see how things fare out once the drop weeks really come into play in a few weeks' time. But qualifying has already come to a close for the drivers. 60 laps going to be your distance. Overall, 3 splits of 17 drivers, give or take a piece, getting set to go here tonight. Just about ready to go. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. It's Chase Pierce who will start on the pole tonight. He was the only driver of the 19.5s. Rocky Boy III of JRS Racing in second. Seth Christensen starts alongside Corey Dowser, who will start in 4th. Doozer should say. Then you have Brandon Wind, who will start in the 5th spot. Jake Galano in 6th. Cortland Herman starts 7th. 8th goes to Jeremy Briggs. 9th goes to Frank Suris. And Mason C. Jones will start in the top 10 tonight.
Justin Leader, last driver, take a time 9/10 off of Chase Pierce's pole time. Austin Bloom and his outside there in 12th. No time taken for him. Matthew Warren there in 13th and 10th truck. Nicholas Jackson rolling off 14th tonight. Austin Walton in 15th. Brian Boyer in 16th. And Stephen Fahed not taking time as well.
That's what we've talked about. We'll be running over tonight here from East Stafford. Just about ready to go racing once again here from the virtual Stafford. So let's take the opportunity to talk about your Maconi Setup Shop race analysis for tonight. As mentioned tonight, 60 laps your distance. That in turn about 30 miles of racing for the competitors and their fixed setups. 1 green white checkered is available if necessary. Also, the tire sets, there are 2 tire sets available in the pits. Not likely we'll use both those sets unless we get some long runs here. Now that being said here, Brayton, what are your keys to a good race here tonight at the virtual Stafford?
It's the same rules, it's the same keys to any other short track on any schedule when you take a full-bodied stock car such as these NASCAR fixed trucks here. Survival. You just got to be there at the end of the 60 lap race with no fast for either. You could go into the corner, you get right hooked a little bit, you go spinning through the corner, you hit the wall a little too much, knock your nose off. It's going to kill your run, it's going to ruin your race. You're going to go straight to the back, and track position in turn ties in with that. If you get sent to the back through the wreck, you got to work your way all the way up through the front.
Who's your pick to win this race and why?
I'm going to go with Rocky Boyd. We've seen him time and time again have a lot of speed here in the Maconi C Fixed Series, also on the road, the pro ladder. So I literally messaged him 5 minutes before the session went up and said, hey, we're doing this, you want to hop in here? He said, you know what? I'll go out and have some fun. So looking to have some fun and maybe get a win here tonight on iRacing social media platforms.
Fun night of racing. Remember, we also have Fast Fridays later on tonight. That's going to be the Gen 4 cars at Michigan. A double-header night. Your iRacing social media platform is a busy night ahead of racing. But these drivers ready to race their way around Stafford. In control of the field here in Connecticut, Chase Pierce. Rocky Boy III to the outside with a hot track and some cool air. To the start box we go. Green flag is out. We're underway from East Stafford. Chase Pierce clears down the back straight away. He'll lead his way into turn 3, side by side for second. Christensen trying to run the bottom. Doozer nearly got hooked around with contact from the 15. Everyone else holds on to it as the fight's on for second.
And Rocky Boyd off to a rocky start, finally able to get in line behind Christensen. Falls back to third. It's Christensen, big bobble off turn number 2 there for him. Boyd able to close up a little bit, but look at this pack of hungry hippos behind him.
A lot of drivers sending it in deep. Some of these drivers going to have to be very careful of contact here, especially with the tight confines in the corners. These trucks, though, are carrying so much momentum that they're drifting up to that second line. Almost trouble back straight away. Some people slamming into the wall, more spinning, and more contact. That's Mason C. Jones, who's now must stop another one. And Jake Galeno stops in turn 4.
Let her go ahead and take it straight on down to pit lane. Mason Jones able to get it back going straight. And we're tagging on the front of the field. And let's see what happened. You mentioned drivers that were just going in with so much momentum, kind of starting to wash up. I think that's going to be what happens here.
Also, a lot of loose conditions that time, just stacked up, crash, 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 and bang.
He was trying to hang on to the entire lap, the entire straightaway there. The contact was with the 8 truck of Frank Cerise. This 15 truck gets loose into the number 8. Nothing you can really do. Oh, Jake Giuliano has taken it to the garage.
Yeah, now we're already down 1 truck just like that. This is a tough racetrack to keep it clean, mind you. We've seen throughout the week some people getting involved with the attrition here. Now, it's going to become the question, though, how do you get yourself the track position here if you know there's the potential of it being caution precaution in a track like this?
Well, if I am Chase Pierce, I'm the happiest man in the world leading this field under caution, because you know there's going to be many more cautions to come, and that you're going to kind of stack with the field. You're going to be able to pull away a little bit and not really get a long green flag run. If you're Mason C. Jones, who just kind of got involved in an incident after running inside the top 10, it's going to be a very, very tough race, because he is not going to get many opportunities to make up those positions.
Just about ready to go pretty soon here. Its lights are still on top of the iRacing pace car. I'd like to remind you that tonight's race is brought to you in part by iRacing. Relied on as a training tool by countless professional drivers, iRacing is unrivaled as a racing simulator because its creators have managed to capture every last car and track detail and recreate them in a package that perfectly encapsulates the feeling of being behind the wheel of a race car, pushing its mechanical limits on courses designed to test each driver's mindset, and the industry agrees. Visit iRacing.com and sign up and become a member today. Just about ready for the restart. Coming up to lap 8. Pierce alongside Christensen. Restart zone. Green flag is out. Rocky Boy III times it up to go to side by side for second.
Pierce able to get a great start. They're washed up a little bit, running the diamond line, gets to drive off the corner. Rocky Boyd III, though, going to do exactly what Seth Christensen did to him on the initial start. Rocky Boyd up to second.
Not fully done yet. Just about is done, though. Seems like the type of racetrack where you want to start on the inside line for good measure. This is a bottom-feeding type of racetrack. Already seeing Doozer do the same thing. A lot of people wiggling and bobbling, noticing that corner exit from the top.
I think we'll have a race for a lead here in a second. Rocky Boyd is literally running below the apron. Going on the flattest part of the track here, just running the shorter line, trying to make up the momentum. That 16 truck running a different line than most drivers here. Gets a little loose in the corner, exit falls back as he chases Pierce slow. That red truck in front of him trying to chase him down.
It's been really intriguing to see the approaches so far for these drivers on these runs. We're running about a sixth of the way through the distance. This time, Rocky Boy the third trying to keep it a little bit more shallower as Pierce holds on in front. Rocky Boy the third, one of those RTP competitors from the Road to Pro ladder this past year, in the past couple years, in fact.
Actually running a paint scheme that he ran at the Road to Pro race at Indianapolis Raceway Park that has my face on the hood. I didn't realize it was that paint scheme he's sporting here tonight. So a little biased, actually based off of my truck scheme. As the caution flag comes out, 17 truck around with Frank again.
Frank Service amongst those around, absolutely. And there's a lot that happened on the replay. Keep an eye on not only what happens with the contact, but the 12 and the 11 checking things up down the front.
That's Frank Service in the 8, and kind of arrives on the scene. I believe that's 12 there, going real slow. And Frank gets turned by the 16. That's going to be Justin Lee. And the 17 there, Stephen Fahed, there's nowhere to go. Wrong place, wrong time.
That's what happened after the bobble contact in front bottles things up. And the 8 gets spun around in the checkup effect.
Nothing they can do there. No major damage though. Both those trucks should be able to continue. But talking about this being a bottom feeding track, Seth Christensen started second on the front row last restart, and that's number 6 truck. Fell down to 6 on that green flag run. He's actually got his left side tires in the grass trying to cool him down here.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually does anything here, or if that's just running the bottom for the sake of running the bottom of the racetrack. A few people are pitting at the moment, though, towards the back of the field, so we have had some people like Stephen Fahed and more come in for pit stops. Mason Jones got the lucky dog this caution flag. An interesting announcement coming through today, by the way, speaking of the road to eNASCAR and its Coca-Cola iRacing series, and a evolution and simplification being announced earlier today, where quite simply there will be a new eNASCAR qualifying series schedule that would run Tuesday nights besides the March break for the 2026 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series deciding roster. Top finishers from that series would then go to the Coke series. Essentially, the Road to Pro ladder would be simplified to the point where it'd be a late year, early start of next year beginning before that Road to the Coke series, which would be a May start from here on out.
A lot of positive interactions, a lot of positive reviews, shortening the Coke schedule, making the Road to Pro ladder a lot simpler.
A lot of people talking and buzzing about that here today for obvious reasons. But now we're underway for racing once again. 45 to go. Boyd the third just says, I'm just going to get to the bottom. They're fighting for third.
Yeah, you saw what happened last time we restarted second on the initial start and trying to get in line, but some drivers not wanting to get in line. That's Seth Christensen trying to work his way around the 7 machine. He was able to get back on the bottom.
A lot of people not giving much space down these straightaways either. Christensen not having much luck. And some contact in front. It's Doozer. Doozer able to hold on to it, goes in the grass. What a save for the 3.
Gonna lose a couple spots, but keeps it going straight, gets right back in line behind Jeremy Briggs. And what a save here from the 3 truck of Corey Doozer. Running third at a time. Number 5 goes low, 2 low. That's Brandon Wynn, gets in the left rear, gets sideways. 7 checks up to avoid him as the caution flag comes out for a later incident. We got 1 up by the wall in turn number 2. Austin Walton.
Spun around in turns 1 and 2 for an error caution. And this time, Justin Lee, hearing was involved in this contact. Watch the dive from the 16.
Okay, gonna be that blue truck there. About takes out number 8 of Frank Shuris, and as he washes up there into the 12 of Walton. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about the paint scheme on the 12 truck, but that is just a very, very bright paint scheme. I don't know how Justin Lee missed it.
Hey, sometimes you want to lick the stamp and send it. Sometimes that really is a tough gamble sometimes. It's a really tough gamble when there's no place to lick the stamp to, except to a back bumper.
That one's going to hurt a little bit more than some of the previous contact, getting right in their left rear. Not going to hurt Walton's truck too much, but not going to do it any favors either.
Still have 40 laps to go in this race, by the way. We've only turned a third of the laps so far. And it looks like one driver may be close to losing a lap in Mason Jones. We still have 16 on the lead lap at the moment. But so far, Chase Pierce has the race going exactly how he wants to be, leading all these laps.
Yeah, leading flag to flag. Rocky Board, though, is going to have another perfect restart there from second to get down in line. You can't contend for the lead yet. You have to kind of play his cards right and get in front of Brandon Wynn there in that 5 truck restarting third. So we get stuck on the outside, but we're going to be stuck going backwards there for a little bit.
So getting set for a restart here. It's Pierce in control again. Boyd the third and second. Wind, Christensen, Herman, Briggs, your top 6. Biggest mover in the race is towards the back of the field, a +5 for Fahed. Has been dealing with damage from some of the early caution flags. Is up to 11th.
Matthew Warren also up 5, running 8th currently. So perfect waiting for the top 7.
Let's see how this goes here on the restart. Green, green, green. Boyd the third times it up. But yet again, just takes the bottom and tries to hold on the second. Battle is on for third again.
See Brandon Wynn there, side by side with Christensen. Christensen, bit of a bobble into the outside wall, falls back, opens the door for Cortland Herman, and Court is in session.
When Herman near contact offset 3 wide, that's not a good line. That's a big drift. And that is not going to be good. Herman is around for the caution flag.
We saw that one basically coming off of turn 4. They were staggered 3 wide there, and no one wanted to give up any room.
No other contact, thankfully, for Cortland Herman. But the second that line was kept all the way down here, you knew something was about to happen.
Yeah, we're pretty hard to get inside and not lift a finger. Remember, Doozer was running up front and got turned by Brandon Wynn, the 5 truck. So he's trying to work his way back up to the front here. He's done a pretty good job of keeping it clean, but that's the first incident there since that initial spin there for Doozer.
With the tires being buzzed, Herman is amongst those in the pit lane, by the way. A few others, including Briggs, rolling the dice. We're almost at the halfway point, but much of the race has been run under caution. Not a surprise. Most of your leaders are staying out here. So overall, though, when we've had racing so far on the track, it's been the difference of sides of the track. 1 and 2, a bit more drift up in the corners, a bit more flatter entries and exits through 3 and 4 so far.
Yeah, that's definitely the name of the game, is survival of the fittest and not getting drifted into, it seems. And you can run those different lines, kind of get a different drive off, maybe make a run, but unless you're able to carry that inside position in the corner, I don't think you're going to be able to get the spot. That's what Rocky Boyd third is doing with right now. Looking at Chase Pierce, the leader, has led every lap so far, past the lap of the race at 19.753 as well. For average speed of 91 miles an hour for that number 2 truck. It's going to be hard to beat here.
It'll be hard to make the pass unless you're able to force something, possibly. It's going to be a big test and a challenge, to say the very least. But coming up to the 1 to go restart. What's going to happen here? We'll have to wait and see. We're just about halfway through the race, Brayton.
Look at that beautiful, beautiful peak truck there. That makes this drive halfway. We have already torn off about half the quarter panels, fenders, back bumpers, and more in this field.
Just about ready for the restart. Pierce again, still in control. Boyd the third, still in second. Rolls the restart. It's been timed perfectly so far. Boyd the third times it perfect to the point where he's going to try it. He's trying to make the move outside. Offset 3 wide and some contact behind number 4th. But Boyd the third tries to make the move high.
Able to get the lap led across line. Crossover move for Boyd. Looking low off of turn 4. Gets right back in line. Caution flag comes out.
And they're stacking up. Contact all over the place. And tempers are flaring as we're under caution at the midway point.
I mentioned Rocky Boyd was actually able to lead the lap there coming to the green. So Pierce will not go flag to flag. We're looking at what happened to Brandon Wynn in the 5 truck here. Expect some contact from behind. Actually, contact in the front checks him up. That's the 3 truck. A Duder makes contact with him. Justin Lee comes in, carrying too much momentum. Then expect an initial checkup, and then around he goes in front of the field. At that point, it's going left, going right, going under, going above. Go wherever you can.
And that was not a pretty spot for some of the drivers. Hard contact with 14, Mason Jones. Some drivers going to be dealing with potentially significant damage here the rest of the way. But now, as the sorry button comes out at one end of the field, others just trying to get the damage fixed to try and minimize what they can do. But Boyd the third had a great restart there and had a great run. I think where is he?
He is pitted. He is taking tires. He is thrown that second place restarting position out the window. Coming down, putting 4 freshies on it. Can we restart in about 12th to 13th, and he's going to have 30-ish laps to get his way back up to the front. Chase Pierce, I think, has made his bed. He's going to have to stay out no matter what happens now.
Yeah, that's a roll of the dice, and an interesting one. I'm not sure if I necessarily like it, because yes, there is the method of trying something different, but he's in 12th. That's a lot of trucks he has to pass here in an attrition-filled race.
It's going to be a tough task there for Rocky Boyd III, but if anyone can do it, he's been one of the fastest trucks all night. He's going to have his work cut out for him. But if he believes in himself, go out there and try it. I don't think he could have beaten Pierce heads up. He's going to have to try something different. That's what he's going with.
So let's find out if that's going to work out for him. Pierce is clear. The battle's on for second.
Driving in, no one around him. Chase Pierce goes, but Seth Christian trying to work his way back up to second. But here comes Corey Duzer instead of that 3 truck trying to steal the spot, and he's going to get it.
Able to take it away with ease. They're offset 3 wide of the backdrop. Caution. Back at her yellow, and it is Suris, who has gone around again.
Poor Frank is not having a good night.
Suris able to hold on to it at least without hitting another truck, we can tell you that. This snap is why we're under caution.
Yeah, just kind of went a little too hot. They started checking up in front of them, looking at that white 8 truck right there with the orange spoiler. They're going to start checking up, going in the corner here. Rocky Boyd the third and Jeremy Briggs. And honestly, he spins himself out here to avoid contact with Briggs. The Briggs right there is saved by Suris. Suris is going to fall to the tail end here and avoid any contact, though, because of it. That's some pretty heads-up driving. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
If that was me, I would have turned right there and taken 4 or 5 trucks with me.
You don't make friends by doing that, though. You definitely don't make friends by doing that, to the very least. But we do have one driver in the field here tonight that is standing by. Why don't we take the opportunity to surprise him? Jeremy Briggs jumping into the broadcast booth here. Jeremy, how's it been in your truck?
It's been a handful. I've avoided a lot of wrecks tonight, a lot more than I expected to. But we're giving it a wing here. This Jerry Briggs Esports, Maconi Entertainment, Maconi Setup Shop, Intake Breathing, Warpath Graphics Machine. Looks great, and hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast.
Yes, it's been an interesting one tonight. How would you describe trying to attack the lines here when you have had green flag runs?
Just protecting that right front. It's all about short track racing, and you got to maintain your tires. I'm trying to do something pitting here at the halfway, but the march forward's not going as good as I'd like it to, but we'll see what we can do here.
Okay, what are you going to do on this restart coming up in about 30 seconds?
Go where they are not.
Keeping it simple. Once you get to the restart here, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Jeremy Briggs getting ready for a restart. He's in 11th for this upcoming restart. Coming up to 21 laps to go. And off and away goes Pierce. Clear. And already up to the top to get the preferred groove. Doozer trying to make it from the high side for second.
Anything he can, side by side off the corner, bit of a bobble looked like, but Christensen able to carry the inside line on Doozer, trying to get the spot off turn 4. Here comes the caution flag again.
Matthew Warren amongst those stacked up. Austin Bloom got turned around in the 4 truck. 20 laps to go in a precaution kind of night.
It's a good thing. Actually, no, I'm gonna hold that thought, JP. I'm just gonna hold it.
Now, I'm really curious what you're about to say at this point. But I will say this. It's been a challenge in these corners in some of the ways the line's been attacked. A lot of bumper-to-bumper contact.
I see the 4 truck there is kind of getting a little help from 14 of Mason Jones. And I saw him, you know, you can't go over it. You can't go under it. What did they do? You gotta drive through it. That's exactly what Mason C. Jones did right there.
I feel like I know where that's from, but I also don't.
One thing I saw on TikTok.
I will say, once again, it's going to get interesting how things get scored around. Last time by, I believe Doozer actually got the edge, and interesting enough, he did pit. That's why he got the lap-led edge. Chase Pierce still leads on track, so a lot of your front runners are at the very least saying, I want to at least get tires here, or at least get some damages fixed. The highest running of those who have pit, by the way, is Justin Lee in 3rd.
Okay, we haven't really gotten a super long green flag run at any point in the night. These tires continue to cool down under caution. They're able to go right back out and turn some pretty blistering laps where these older tires are going to hurt. As if we do get a longer green flag run, they're going to hit that wall. They're going to fall off a lot harder than those guys that have pressure tires. Rocky Boy the 3rd talking about his tire strategy there. It's off to a rocky start, only up 2 spots since that tire call about 12 laps ago.
Reminder once again to stay tuned after the race. Be sticking around here on the network for Fast Fridays. Should be a fun night. You have the Gen 4 cars at Michigan. Just about ready to go for 16 to go. Green, green, green. Pierce not as clear this time. Christensen trying to dive. Contact for second. Here goes Justin Lee.
And Lee moves the 6 as Christensen off the track, goes right on by. Thank you very much. As Lee's going to miss the corner and get saved by another caution.
Wind spun around to the back stretch. Matthew Warren up in the Armco barrier here. Couple people absolutely licking the stamp on these restarts.
Yeah, Warren just going to kind of like Lee miss the corner a little bit. Look at that 10 blue, black, yellow, darker color truck. Misses the corner here and round she goes. Whee!
Cause the caution, by the way, was because wind got turned around the back. Interesting enough, we have a driver with a black flag, the 3, Corey Doozer. Picked up a black flag on the restart, by the way. He passed people to the left coming to the green flag.
The 5 of Brandon Wind is going to get loose on corner exit. 3 wide, Rocky Boy to third. 4 truck involved as well. That's Austin Bloom. Corey Duzelo trying to avoid that wreck, goes through the grass. Correct me if I'm wrong here, JP. Never mind, you said Duzer's black flag was for jumping the start. I thought he got an incident point penalty, and I thought he was the driver that was going through the grass to cool his tires down earlier. But jumping the restart, they'll get you for that.
Yeah, that's a black flag you have to serve under green. That's going to make it even worse for Corey for his race. But it gets really intriguing now that you have some of the fresher drivers in terms of tires now up front. You have Lee in second. Herman, who took 2 tires after his slide, is up to third. And then Jeremy Briggs, who's on a similar cycle to Herman, would be the next one up on those tires right behind Christensen. Rocky Boy the third, who hit at about the midway point, is in 7th.
Yeah, none of these drivers really seem to have a heat cycle on their tires. That's a big problem here. Chase Pierce is going to be at disadvantage. He's, gotten up 5 or 6 green flag lap run in there, able to get some heat in his tires and cool them down, so he will not have the speed after more than a lap and a half here. You have to rely on that restart jump.
Almost set to go for the restart, as you see from above here at Stafford. 11 lap to go mark for the restart. Lee way far back on the right side of the track. He's not even lined up against the leader. Green flag is out. Back and away. Pierce is already clear. Lee to the bumper.
Lee able to run the higher lane there, turn in a little bit later and carry the momentum throughout the corner. Got to the back bumper, not able to do anything with it. Lee's been the one to send a dive bomb all race long. Sent one into 3, not able to get there. As a caution though will come out, as there goes Duzer trying to get the pit lane, goes through the grass. I don't think that's the reason for the caution, as we have a slow rolling Austin Walton in the back.
A lot of trucks were sliding yet again. Corey Duzer not able to get the black flag served. Reason for the caution flag. Keep an eye on the 4 truck. Austin Bloom.
I have Austin or Austin Walton. Sure, Austin Bloom the 4 goes in way too hot. And then Austin Walton gets some help from the 11 of Nicholas Jackson, trying to avoid Austin Bloom, and Austin going to the wall.
Yet again, attrition strikes as we go to under 10 laps to go in the race. A lot of tempers still flaring in this race too, over the radio at the moment. But it's been a tough one for some of these drivers.
Well, Austin's trucks almost have matching paint. But Rocky Boyd the third able to pick up a couple of spots that, I don't want to say caution cycle, but in that lap or so of racing. Could be restarting 5th here with some pretty fresh rubber and a lot of speed in that truck. I think Christensen's going to be one to beat as well. I don't think Christensen has pitted it. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, JP. But also Cortland Herman and Justin Lee there in 2nd and 3rd. A lot of fast trucks all in this top 5.
By the way, Jeremy Briggs staying in the 6th spot. He's one of those who submitted their paint schemes for tonight. For those who do not know, to be able to submit things for the paint scheme package, be sure to contact your Maconi to learn more at the best way to get your paint scheme on the broadcast and approved to be able to race on this track.
Must have had Ramon there from the movie Cars in his pit stall to get that paint scheme on there thrown pretty quick into that caution cycle.
Hey, you don't do paint scheme changes during the pit stops?
I'll think of that for next season.
Coming up to 6 laps to go. Pierce, Lee, Herman, Christensen, Boyd the third, your top 5. Will it stay green to the end, or will we have another caution? Lee is still not yet alongside Pierce, trying to jump it almost for the high side. Now it's getting corked for 2nd. Here we go with a slide. It's Herman into Lee. Caution flag is out. More drivers spin and crash.
That's Jeremy Briggs sliding in there pretty late as well. And guys are going to go green, or we're going to have another caution. Well, I knew where my money was, and I would have won my life savings right there. So let's restart here, and this is going to push under green right second, I presume. Going to start with a deep sending from the 7th truck. That's Cortland Herman going to turn 1. Way too hot. He might have had help from Rocky Boyd. I can't tell from that angle.
Yeah, I can't tell if he got touched or if he just sent it in deep thinking he would have been touched.
I think he was driving through his rearview mirror, was looking at Rocky Boyd on his back bumper, looked up and saw he was in the corner. I think it would have been contact had he braked at a normal point, but I don't think he would have carried that much momentum into the corner and taken out 2-3 trucks with him.
Still no meatball flags, by the way, for those curious. But a few drivers going to have to take the wave around to get back in the lead lap for what could be potential with the final restart, actually. Depending on what happens here. Pierce, Christensen, Boyd the third, now your top 3. And I believe we will get a green-white checkered finish here.
I think we're going to put all of our eggs in one basket here, and we are going to try our best not to crack them. If we get to the white flag, I think that'll be the race. See if we go ahead and withdraw that one overtime attempt. As Rocky Boyd the third, though, I believe is now the highest running truck on new tires, unless Christensen pitted at some point. But these 3 have been 1, 2, 3 for the majority of the race until Rocky Boyd pitted, said goodbye, I'm going in the back, I'll see you guys later. It's later, and Rocky Boyd the third is here, and in prime position to get a win here.
Wave around time. This is the final restart. Green, white, checkered finish. If we take the white flag, it's a race to checkered. If we get an air caution, we'll just finish under yellow. Let's find out if the field can keep it clean for a mile. Pierce looking to close it out. Near flag to flag tonight. Christensen, Boyd the third, Jackson, your top 4. Green flag is out. Boyd the third over the back bumper of Pierce. Pierce now getting a small tap. He tries to hold the bottom as Boyd the third goes for second.
Boyd side by side gets loose off the corner, about to make contact with Christensen. Going into turn 3, Pierce is pulling away.
A bit of a drift for Boyd the third. Has to get off the gas. White flag is out. Final time around. Drivers in the wall in the back. As they keep zipping around, Christensen thinks the race is over, just lifted off the gas. Not lifting off the gas, Chase Pierce. He pulls away from Rocky Boyd the third. Chase Pierce takes the win.
Picture perfect Pierce, give it to him. Led every single lap, I believe, except for one, when Rocky Boyd beat him to the line on a restart. But picture perfect for the number 2 truck. Going through the Stafford road course here. Look at that stat line. Lowest running position all night was second for about a quarter of a lap.
That's Christensen, by the way, finished in 4th after lifting off the gas. He thought the race was done after a lap with a caution flag. Pierce destroys his truck for good measure amidst this celebration. Let's take a quick break. We come back, post-race results and post-race coverage. You're watching the Maconi Fixed Series here on iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series from Stafford Motor Speedway here on iRacing and on Maconi Entertainment. Let's take a look at your in-sim official race results for tonight's action. Chase Pierce started up front, finished up front. He finishes in front of Boyd III. Nicholas Jackson takes the top 3 in a big I-rating gain. Christensen, Boyer, the top 5. Austin Walton finishes in 6th after starting 15th. Frank Service, after not having the best of luck early, finishes top 10. He finishes in front of Wynn Bahed as well as Austin Bloom is your top 10.
Matthew Warren there, the California kid, finishes 11th. Jeremy Briggs, rough go around for him. He'll try again in the Maconi Fast Friday race here in a little bit. He's going to finish 12th. Corey Dewey, the driver from Indiana, falls down 9 positions to finish 13th. Justin Lee, I think, takes a cake for incident points as well. The driver of the number 16 truck is going to finish 14th. And Portland Herman, Mason C. Jones, your last 2 drivers on the lead lap. And then Jake Galano, your only DNF from tonight's 61 lap main event.
That's all top to bottom at the run. You're here tonight from iRacing's virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. Have a couple drivers standing on by. Why don't we take the opportunity to speak to some of them? Rocky Boyd III is the first of those drivers standing on by. He finishes top 3. Had a lot of confidence into tonight. He was waiting alongside just before the race started. But Rocky, you put on fresh tires at the midway point, made your way back to second. What was it like trying to make your way back to the field?
Sucked, really. It was just watching people take each other out. Is all it really was. It wasn't a lot of driving, so it wasn't the funnest experience, but it was all right.
Well, talk about the positives. How would you describe the racing of itself when you did have green flag runs here?
Oh, yeah. Me, Seth, Chase, and Corey, I think, was up there, too. We were having some okay racing. But it was really just trying to get to the bottom on the restarts. If you were second or if you were third, trying not to let second get down. So it was, but we got some laps earlier in the race and it was all right. Set's actually pretty fun. Kills the rears a little bit, and that was fun trying to manage the tires. But I didn't really have anything for Chase, so that's kind of why I pitted. Was just hoping maybe I could get a run and run him down, but didn't really get that.
Well, once again, though, a solid run overall here tonight. You're able to make it your way through the pack. Will we see you once more for some of the later S.O.F. races this season?
Maybe. I didn't really plan on running this one, but I got asked if I wanted to run it, so I registered, and I luckily had just ran the one before this, so I was somewhat warmed up, and it wasn't bad. Finished second and got a little bit of iRating out of it.
Well, congratulations once again on the top 3 finish here tonight, Rocky.
Thank you, guys.
Rocky Boyd III coming away second spot here tonight in this one. We also have Cortland Herman, who was all throughout the field tonight. He's standing on by with Brayton Lester.
As Court is now in session with Cortland Herman. You were running inside the top 5. Ultimately, you finished 15th. Now tell us about your race. Cortland, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your race here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we started 7th, got up to 4th, then got spun pretty early. Fought our way back up through the field, back to 3rd, and then on the last restart, I wasn't expecting as big of a shot from Rocky, and wasn't expecting to carry as much speed, and she just got around.
Yeah, you were in a position to win it. You mentioned that instant there with Rocky and Justin Lee on the second to last restart. But tell us a little bit, working your way up through the field, you had to do it multiple times tonight, and kind of how hard it was to pass.
Yeah, I mean, you really wanted to get to the bottom. The top had no grip. If you were stuck on the high side for too long, you were going to burn your right rear, and you didn't want that to happen.
Well, thank you for taking time to speak with us, and thank you for taking time to race as well. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Limited Time Motorsports, Top Tier Apparel, and everyone else on the team. But thank you guys for the broadcast.
Thank you.
It's Cortland Herman running our post-race discussions here on iRacing Maconi Entertainment. The next time we head racing in the Maconi Fixed Series, oh boy, Brayton, this should be a fun one. It's Homestead.
Yeah, great track to go to for these trucks, and a lot of fans, a lot of drivers are looking forward to next week. So that's going to be a great opportunity. Maybe gain some points, maybe hopefully not lose some points, as we're going to see drivers 3, 4, and maybe even 5 wide.
Once again, be sure to tune in. February the 5th is the date, the time, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, to catch the racing at Homestead. But some final thoughts here, Brayton, as the next portion of the night. We're sticking around. We're going Fast Friday racing next.
That's 60 laps here from Michigan. It's going to be a great time, and we are excited to watch.
It'll be an exciting one, but until that point, it's time to say goodbye for now. Thanks to the race sponsor, Maconi Setup Shop, as well as our viewers for tuning in. Calling the action tonight, myself, Justin Prince, alongside Brayton Lester. DJ Line was producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action in the Fixed Series. Hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race, and you stay tuned for Fast Fridays with the Gen 4 cars at Michigan. Thanks to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you in just a bit. doubleheader night action continues. Welcome to Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Tonight, we have the Gen 4 cars at iRacing's virtual Michigan International Speedway as one of our monthly money races. For those who haven't joined us before, Fast Fridays is a monthly series held by Maconi Setup Shop featuring a variety of car track combinations. The drivers tonight will be competing for $150 in cash plus a 3.3-foot, 1 meter tall trophy, all to the winner. My name is Justin Prince. Joining me alongside the booth tonight is ARCA Menard Series racer Brayton Laster. DJ Line is working the controls as our producer. Brayton, the Gen 4s at NASCAR's fastest track is a fan favorite when it comes to Fast Fridays, and we can't wait to see who comes up behind the wheel for victory lane. With that in mind here, what do you expect to see here tonight as these drivers head to the track here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, if you like big American horsepower, you like cars yawed out, going in the corner at 210 miles an hour, well, you are in the right place because that is exactly what you're going to see here tonight from virtual Michigan International Speedway.
Lots of fast speeds going to be seen, speeds possibly up to 200 plus miles an hour here tonight. Around the 18 degrees of banking here at Michigan, around since 1968. A lot of exciting races have happened here with the multiple groups of racing that you may see here. We are at the newer paved version of Michigan, mind you, here tonight.
This track gone through all kinds of repaves and some different configurations over the years. This configuration, for example, 12 degrees of banking on the front stretch, 5 degrees on the back stretch, and 18 degrees in the corners.
Well, as we mentioned, Fast Fridays happening about once a month with this series. We've had everything from Xfinity Series cars at Chicagoland to the trucks at Daytona to the super late models at Five Flags to here tonight. Each driver getting the chance to be guaranteed to start. There are 33 starters already been confirmed for the qualifying cutoff here tonight. So you better qualify well if you want to be able to get in. After all, more than 50 people have jumped in the session at one point here tonight.
That's going to be a nail-biter, see who makes it, who doesn't. Some drivers were, actually all drivers were able to go ahead and lock in through an entry form previous to qualifying. So obviously not every driver did fill out that form, so they will have to rely on their qualifying time to get in. But like I mentioned, only 33 starters here tonight.
It should be an interesting time for these drivers here. A lot of fast drivers to keep an eye on, like Braxton DeWeese in the field, Michael Corhan seen do well in these events, Daniel Sallo's amongst those that are in the entry list here tonight. And many more looking to see if they can keep it clean. 60 laps the distance going to be here tonight, Brayton, as well. That's a lot of laps and at least a one-stopper.
Yeah, 120 miles is the distance for mileage. Track 2 miles long. They do have a full 100% fuel limit and no limit on tires as well. So that one stop going to be burning through tires quite a bit. You'll want to come down any chance that you get, I'd imagine, for those new tires to begin with.
Something you're going to have to keep an eye on as the night progresses here. But as well, it's kind of an art form to drive this racetrack in the midst of the pack here. It's going to be interesting what lines we see these drivers take. I've seen the high line from some drivers. A lot of people referring that middle to just above that first seam line. We'll see what seam runs the best here. In your opinion, who are you watching out the most for tonight?
And you were talking about some of your heavy hitters earlier, Michael Curran, Braxton DeWeese. Those two are going to be fun ones to watch. The driver that we've seen time and time again here on both iRacing social media platforms and on Maconi Entertainment is a driver that we have basically seen him grow from rookie street stocks here on iRacing to being a contender at a lot of big shows. That's the driver starting 10th, Ryan Kabashian.
Going to be an interesting driver to see. He'll be starting around 10th for tonight. It's just about time to see your starting lineup for Fast Fridays here on iRacing and Maconi Entertainment. 31 drivers took times. That means for 33 drivers, just a couple drivers getting above that cut line to avoid getting sent home for tonight. Michael Carhan starts on the pole. Braxton DeWeese starts alongside, separated by 4 1/1000ths of a second. Carter Casey will start alongside Dustin German in the top 4. Danny Solo will start in the 5th spot. Daniel will start alongside Andrew Chapman. Then 7th spot goes to John Petrozel. It's Jared Davis who will start in 8th. Larry Eddy in 9th, and Ryan Kilbashian is in 10th.
Gerald Ingerich there throwing off E11. His outside is going to be the Maconi Setup Shop car. Number 88, Brendan Argenio. Behind them is going to be Vinny Tigner, and then Ashton Pritchard running off 13th and 14th. Jeremy Briggs, I saw him competing at Stafford in the Maconi C Fixed Series. He's going to run off 15th. That's Jeremy Briggs' sports machine. Buddy Waters is going to be his buddy rolling off his outside there in 16th. Frank Winnesett in 17th. Mason C. Jones, also saw him competing that last time out in Maconi C Fixed competition just a couple minutes ago. William Owens in 19th, and Chris Walsh rounding out your top 20.
21st goes to Stephen McGaw. Then it's Timothy Triplett, 22nd. Troy Burke and Nick Hicks will start top 24. Then it's Cameron Romano, start 25th. Ron Holyfield in 26th. Corey Rayner in 27th tonight alongside Joseph Spillman. Joe Monacan will start in 29th. The Canadian will start alongside Brandon Burkhart. He starts 30th. The rest of your starters, those include John Phillips, the last driver on time, Austin Lewis. Jason Robarge will not be a part of the field. Your cutoff was that 33rd position.
Hey, that Nikolai's pretty fast in qualifying. Did not set a qualifying time. Still in the session 2, I believe. I'm not sure what happened there to the 27 machine. So big, well-known name driver not making the field here.
The field now getting itself going and getting set to go. 60 laps once again your distance. Let's talk about your race analysis, brought to you by Maconi Setup Shop, the official setup shop of eNASCAR. Drivers will have a 55-mile-an-hour pit road, 3 green-white checkers available in Fast Fridays, 1 fast repair. Remember, we are using fixed setups for this series. Everybody's running on the same setup in their equipment here tonight. So as this field gets ready to roll here, Brayton, let's talk about your keys to victory when it comes to this one tonight. It should be a fun one. The track is fairly decent.
Yeah, keeping the tires under you. You want to make sure that the right front doesn't get burned off. You want to make sure you don't get turned backwards going flying down the back straightaway. These cars are fast. You got to take care of them. You got to manage your stuff.
I'll ask you once again, in a different way, I should say, who's your pick to win it?
You know, I was pretty biased there towards Sebastian, but as far as getting the job done, I'm going to go with Michael Curran on the pole.
We'll see if the pole sitters got the power like we just seen in the Maconi Fixed Series. Field just about set to go racing. 60 laps your distance. Green flag is out. We're underway. Michael Carhan leads the first lap. Braxton DeWeese second. It's the outside line. Seems to be the line most want to parade around. DeWeese showing the nose, though, for the lead.
It's go time for that number 8 machine. He's got a hole. He's got a line. He's got the grip, and he's sending off a turn 2. Falling back to the wood, not able to carry the momentum. Gets right back in line almost behind Curran. Trying to get the draft, but it sticks low.
All the way below that first seam, a little bit too low. And this combination, so fun to drive when it comes to official races. So fun to drive in Fast Fridays. Lots of opportunities for passes and moves if you know what you're doing, like Dustin Sherman for second.
German slides up in front of DeWeese there, clears him for second, makes his move, getting ready to set his sights on the lead. That's Michael Kern in the 15s running down Dustin German in the 50. As here comes DeWeese throwing shade, trying to get that spot back.
With crossover move, DeWeese runs a lot of different leagues, is known for being very quick in everything he drives. You're seeing why as he's hounding for the race lead. Curhan loose. Dustin German has the run outside.
2 by 2. Here comes the 29 of Carter Casey in the Reese's machine as the number 8 of DeWeese about took his nose off, gets right in line in front of him. Carter Casey turns down low, trying to get the inside scoop, trying to get the run off the corner, side by side in front of him for the lead.
Still trying to make the move for the high side. The outside line is a great line to be able to build momentum to make passes. And German not afraid to use up his stuff a bit to make this move for the point. To the lead goes German.
Pivot him that time by. Dustin German from 4th from the starting grid already takes the lead. Has a Cafe Carlink advantage going into turn 1. Curran looking low, turning lower down the track, getting right above the white line, using the entire bottom lane, and then some comes up side by side with DeWeese. Carter Casey, though, still in the picture. A bit of a 4-car breakaway here as Andrew Chapman, first car out.
Yeah, these drivers really starting to spread apart in parts of this field. Curhan trying to battle it out. Others are in the wall. One driver was up in the fence, believe. See the name, but can tell you. Go ahead.
That was Gerald Ingerick. Still slow rolling, just now across the start-finish line in the 30 car. He fell from 10th all the way down to outside the top 20 almost after hitting the wall there in 3 and 4.
Well, that's the risk sometimes you take, though, with running the lip up towards the wall, right? You push up the track, you make contact. Ingerick is still trying to hold on to it.
Yeah, about made contact there with Cameron Romano. And just trying to get his footing down and try and get it stable. Running right up there in the upper seam maneuver. Sometimes it's not the fastest, but let me tell you, JP, it is the funnest line to run inches away from the wall. As he actually gets right into it, he's going to kill his momentum. Lose another spot to Ron Holyfield. Actually, I believe in Andy Hillenberg throwback, the 11 car is. This is the same number font. I don't think Andy ever had Castro Edge on his car, but beautiful looking car.
Yeah, I believe that's a combination of that old style number font that's one of the iRacing ones you can choose. And I believe that's Chris Buescher's paint scheme.
He's got a lot going on there between the number font, the scheme, and the Castro Edge, and he's trying to run against the edge. They are trying to pass the Cameron Romano bird watching goes both ways machine.
Don't even get me started with that. As one driver way off the gas, that's Wineset, that having some issues, that drops the back to 27th, make it 28th. As I'm just going to say, this car says a lot.
BirdsAren'tReal.com, the presenting sponsor on the back bumper and on the hood.
I mean,
the birds might not be real, but the shins here tonight are. As contact almost made with the 36 of William Owens.
Yeah, and a lot of people towards the rear end of the field at least are just having the spatial awareness. The front of the field, it's been remaining racing. In fact, it's, if anything, still kept 7 cars in the pack. Chapman's the tail end of the pack. Danny Solo's in it. Chapman amongst those trying the top line.
And the highest running of your high line runners currently in that now 6th position, just got passed by Daniel Solo for that 5th spot and that 13. Keith Chapman trying to run down this lead pack. And now this leader started kind of moving higher and higher up the racetrack. Only 1 car down low this time. And it was your previous leader, Michael Curran, trying to now make a move on 2nd, Braxton DeWeese.
Arrow poke to the inside. Curhan trying to make up some lost ground. Not afraid to race it out. Carter Casey. Caution. First caution flag of the night thrown. And we'll have to see where the caution came. It's the 30. Ingerick going around.
Ashton Pritchard was also slow rolling down the backstretch and on the apron from the 11th position, spun out by himself. No contact there, but it's the 30 bringing the actual caution out at the same time as Pritchard.
Spun around on the apron. They were pushing, just pushed too much.
Did a nice little spin there, got the front tires below the white line, but the back tires sticking above. That's how brought out the caution.
They'll drop it back to 28th place after the keeping your foot in it moment. And this might spark some tire strategy here. There is unlimited tire sets available. So we might see most of the field just say, we'll take some rubber here.
Fall off is already about a second, so I expect most of these guys to come on down, get some fresh rubber at least on the right sides. If you don't, it's going to be a rough 50 lap from here on out, but someone's going to try it, and I don't think it's going to work out. As here comes Dustin German leading the field down pit lane, and Daniel Solo is currently the solo driver staying out.
That's a bit of a risk. Most of the field electing to take the fresh boots.
I'll tell you who else has stayed out is our favorite paint scheme of the night. Birds aren't real, neither is his pit strategy. Cameron Romano stays out in the 66 car with Daniel Solo.
Briggs missed his pit stall. Munsto's in that line back there. Looks like everybody who came down taking 4 tires, no one rolling the dice on 2. You're first off the lane. Braxton DeWeese over Michael Curhan. Carter Casey. Dustin German drops 4th out of the lane.
I don't think Daniel Solo meant to stay out. He was running inside the top 5, and he just actually commented over on the Maconi Entertainment YouTube broadcast. He said, oops.
I mean, he probably
stays out, or I mean, he's got to stay out at this point, right?
He's got to at this point because pit road's closed because it's a quick yellow racetrack.
Tough break. There were no cars. Also, actually, one car down a lap. That's Ashton Pritchard in the 72. But we'll see what happens to Solo here. He's going to need a quick caution and come down, and even then, he'll still be, you know, falling through the running order if he pits. No one else does. And then, of course, Cameron Romano staying out as well.
So just the 2 on the roll of the dice. This is going to get very wild in the next moment or so for these drivers, to say the very least. But DeWeese will be the first of those on the freshies with the 1-to-go signal this time.
Yeah. Back spoiler reading. If it flies, it spies. Spies? Spies. That's a tough word for someone with a list. But Cameron Romano, Daniel Solo. See what they have for the field here. Braxton DeWeese, previous winner of these past Friday's monthly events. Looking to go back-to-back, I believe. I want to say he won the late model race at 5 seconds. I was in that race. I did not win it, I'll tell you that.
Final one with Curhan. He was putting on some good battling, try and get that lead back before that caution flag period. Curhan, we've seen many a time contending up towards the front in these Fast Friday events. A lot of flexibility when it comes to his driving style to different cars.
Yeah, you gotta really be able to adapt to these Gen 4s. If you don't run them often, they're very unique on the asphalt side of things. They drive more like a dirt car than they do an actual asphalt stock car. You definitely, you yaw them out, you lean them out, you're on the edge the entire time, you're driving off the right rear, you're making the magic happen. That's what Daniel Solo is going to be doing on these old 13-lap old tires now from the lead.
Ready for the restart. Solo, Romano on old tires here. Get ready for some interesting moments off turn 2. Romano, interesting restart. Tire spins it. Bobbling and weaving. He's under attack.
Curran trying to get around him. No hole yet. No opening. As Romano gets taken 3 wide Anyway, about stuck 3 wide throughout this entire straightaway as the field is eager to fly right on by him. I thought that was a pretty good line right there. Fly.
To go flying right on past indeed. Danny Solo got a great jump over the rest of the field though, but that tire difference seen him in trouble. A bit of a bobble for the 13. Here comes DeWeese to the inside, looking to get the easy pull. Also to the outside again is Curhan choosing to box himself in off the old tires.
And Solo basically sitting duck here, running that high lane, inches from the wall, trying to get as much speed as he can down the straightaway. Gets a little too much though. He's going to get loose on drive off, and he's going to lose those second, third, and maybe even the 4th spot there to Curran, Casey, and Chapman.
He's going to need a caution. That's going to cost him a lot of spots, to say the very least, no matter how you slice it, unless he gets a caution at the right time. Caution! Caution flag is out.
Talk about getting a caution at the right time. I'm getting a solo on buying a lottery ticket. See, oh, the 11 car there.
Brandon Burkhardt hit him. As the 11 drifted down the track after the caution. Ron Holyfield is the yellow, as the 12 goes up. Hard contact for Holyfield.
Larry Eddy there in the 12. Red car spinning. Got contact, got turned with William Owens. One in the ARCA body styled car. ARCA brake.
And then suspension is demolished. Hard contact to the bottom of the racetrack.
That looked like it hurt.
So that's at least the caution that gets Danny Solo some tires, but it's going to still cost him track position. Let's take a look one more time here.
The full start of it, the middle of it, and the end. Brandon Burkhardt going to be the last car to slide in there. Red and black car on the bottom. See this what I can promise. I got a hole, and no I don't.
That's going to be the faster pair right there.
Yeah, he was fine until he wasn't.
So that puts us under caution. And as expected, tires being taken by several drivers, including those who were on the different strategy.
Yeah, this might be the winning strategy for someone like Daniel Solo. If this race goes green, I mean, in theory, if he doesn't burn up his tires passing more cars than your guys up front, he should be able to last a little bit longer on the new tire, or depending on their fuel window as well. Might barely be any good if the other guys aren't.
Overall, though, how would you describe this combination so far? It seems like it's been fun, especially for those up in the front.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what we expected. Drivers running the high lane up by the wall, drivers running the middle lane, and drivers running the low lane, and then of course a couple drivers running a little bit in between those 3 lanes as well. Haven't seen 5 wide yet. Still got a lot of racing left to go, just past the quarter point in this one, and still a lot of time and a lot of laps left to watch some 5 wide magic happen. And let me tell you, it wouldn't be a race at Michigan if we didn't go 5 wide at some point. We don't have to make it through the corner 5 wide, we just have to start at 5 wide or something.
So once again, coming up to the restart. This time around, as the track conditions have seen the track temperature increase a little bit. Air temp has also gone up a little bit, believe. It is 10:24 a.m. in sim time, so we are going from morning to afternoon in the session. So that will have some impact on how greasy this track gets.
They're going to be leaning a lot more on that right rear, and it's going to be easier to make mistakes, kind of like looking back. Ashton Pritchard, a driver, very skilled, very talented. We've seen him a lot on the higher echelons of the league and hosted competition. And just made a mistake there, running inside the top 10, sent him to the back, and just now got his lap back. So he'll be rolling off 27th on this restart in the 72.
It's Deweese, it's Curhan, followed by Chapman, Casey, German, Kilbashian, Argenio, Davis, Tigner, and Walsh are amongst your top 10. Deweese is set up here tonight. Has the webcam brought out and has the full Ford hat on in full motion. Has one of those trophies in the backdrop too.
I believe that trophy probably won last time out here. Got that fan to keep cool. So I'm gonna tell you, these cars are a handful. It's basically a full-blown workout. I feel like every time I get done driving them, Deweese is about to have the workout of his life here.
Just about ready to go for the restart. All the road to the restart zone. Deweese in control. Green, green, green. Back underway. Good launch for Deweese. Curhan goes down. Blocks off for second.
Andrew Chapman there. He's got a fast car trying to work his way onto first or second, running the bottom groove.
Curhan trying to set something up here. Top two able to get a good buffer off the start. We'll see what the University of North Texas car is able to do here in this battle. Both of them prefer the bottom.
Is it bad that I saw the green arrows and thought I was Wingstop?
Well, either way, the different lines coming prevalent. Chapman's got good momentum from that high line. He's been preferring the top groups. He's trying 3 wide for the lead.
Andrew Chapman thought about 3 wide, still trying to send it. Goes below the yellow line a little bit with the left front. It's going to kill his drive off. As look at the 15 leaning all on the right rear, about spun out. And side by side for the lead going into turn 3.
Curhan will not quit. He wants this lead. Deweese a bit more of an arc for the higher groove. Curhan preferring to paint the yellow line around the bottom. But once again, that's going to be a hard place to make a pass because that outside's just so strong coming off the corner.
206 miles an hour for Braxton Deweese going into turn 1. Running the lower middle groove and laying it all on the right rear, all on the spoiler, hoping it sticks. It sticks coming off of turn 2. Curran trying to make some magic happen. Here comes Chapman again, battling for second.
Or cut to the inside. Try to make something to work there. But yet again, Curhan's got the better pull from the outside groove. Now trying to set up the pull back on Deweese. See if there's going to be some tire saving eventually here. They're just about in the fuel window nearly, if not already. Keep that in mind if we do get some caution periods.
Curran looking to be burning that right rear up a little more than the guys around him. Getting real wobbly on corner exit, starting to hurt his drive off. Dustin German not able to capitalize it yet. But side by side behind him though, as Chapman and Carter Casey are duking it out. But back in the pack, we got one driver all out of whack.
That was Troy Burke going for a bit of a drift from 20th. He's now back in 27th. Burke able to hold on to it and avoid the wall.
And we're at that point in the run where the right rear is starting to really burn off and drivers are really going to start struggling.
Some of the others you see running different lines at the moment, including that very top groove. These drivers at the moment just fighting their race cars, trying to find any bit of clean air they can. It is side by side for the race lead, by the way. Curhan trying to get the small edge still. Deweese up top side. Here's Dustin German back to third.
German going try and follow Deweese on through the top. Curran kind of moves up a little bit to block the run as German's run stalls out, not able to get too much of the draft. Side by side for the lead. Curran running a yellow line. Make sure he doesn't go below it. He does. That's going to upset the car. A big bobble from the 15. It's going to allow Deweese to pull away, and Dustin German gets side by side for second, and he's going to get it going into turn 3.
One mistake cost Curhan one spot. But keep in mind, German is preferred dead center, middle of the racetrack in the corners. He's not afraid to send it for the lead. Deweese hit the apron now. German has the run on the bottom of the racetrack for the point.
And he's going to get the point too. New leader Dustin German for the second time this night leads the field out of turn 2. running that middle groove. A driver to watch out for. Mentioned that last caution might be a lucky break. The 13 of Daniel Solo, one of the quickest cars on track right now.
Keep an eye on the Elkin Tech NHR driver, absolutely. Some of the others we're keeping an eye on in the mid to backpack. You see some of the battling going on. It's back of the grouping with Triplet. Mason Jones, one of the drivers who just took part in the previous race, actually. He's back in the field now. He's right now amongst those trying to pull away from those in the back.
Oh, William Owens!
William Owens is in the grass.
Mowing that grass for free. Doesn't come back up the track. Now he does. Slow run on the apron, comes above the yellow line, going 100 miles an hour. Still not safe to merge, but no one behind him and no caution. See what happened here.
Just took a wiggle, took a hit to the wall, fought it to get out of the wall, and is very lucky it didn't just shoot right on him.
You're looking at that birds aren't real scheme to his inside. And the birds might not be, but that wall is.
Absolutely is. Rick, by the way, just hit the wall again in front of that said car. This car is getting a lot of screen time tonight for
all the wrong reasons.
Yes, you said it, not me. But hey, you know who's also amongst those trying to get screen time? Jerry Briggs, currently holding on in right behind him, 18th. Just trying to still get a feel of the car. One of those who didn't get as much practice time as others. In fact, he was in the bottom half of the practice group, unfortunately, and the speed hasn't translated from Stafford.
I got here a little late. Mentioned that Maconi C Fixed Stafford race just before this one. They're going to get about 10 minutes of practice in line. Currently behind that birds aren't real paint scheme, trying to fly on by the 66 Cameron Romano.
New leader, Michael Curhan to the bottom. Got the run down the front straightaway, took it away at the stripe for a moment, and now look at this. He's trying to snake down the straightaway.
You know, whatever he can to hang on, and that's what Michael Curran's trying to do. The Weiss has fallen down to fourth. Carter Casey running third, and look at these cars starting to yaw it out, starting to lean it out. And let me tell you who this is going to benefit. Daniel Solo has kind of into the back of the lead pack here.
Talk about yeehaw when it comes to how loose these drivers are coming off the corner, leaning on the right rear tires. This might become a tire-saving race where the best people are the ones who are able to hold on to the rear with them turning more right than left. Trouble behind him. Justin Sherman's on the apron.
Saw it in the rearview mirror of Michael Kern's onboard. German able to get it going straight in the 50, but he's going to lose a ton of spot now outside the top 10. As there goes Nick Hicks in the 26 as the caution flag comes out.
Under yellow, and not sure where the caution came from here, but Dustin German just ducked into pit road after having to save it down the back straightaway there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a car damaged or spun or in the wall or in the grass or upside down anywhere. I think the caution was thrown for the 50 of German, who was going straight and was going to re-merge at that point.
Just figured out where it was. The caution was for Engerick, who was running 21st. A couple drivers actually hitting the wall. Also hitting the wall was Romano at one point for the caution flag, so at least two drivers were scattering on the front straightaway. One of them was in the grass. Romano was in the wall.
And they're about to meet in the middle. See the replay here, see what happened. Of note, Dustin German from second place has taken it to the garage. He will be done for the night. Look at the 30 of Gerald Engerick here. And you're going to be looking at the outside wall. He's going to send him down the track. And then to his outside also on the wall is going to be the 66 of Romano. The two cars slow rolling, one down low, one up high. Nowhere for a lot of guys to go. And reason for the caution. Because let me tell you, those guys met in the middle, that would have been catastrophic.
So we're under caution right at the midway point. So that simplifies the fuel strategy at least. Now it's going to be about how these drivers race it out from here. You would have to think, to say the very least. So far, pit stop time has been very important to get into the box for the track position as well. Larietti also just parked it, by the way. Michael Curhan handily wins the race off pit road over to Louise.
Having that last pit stall right there before pit exit. Definitely going to do a lot of favors at many tracks, this track being one of them.
We know the area series champion at one point. It's very solid when it comes to these races. He's been proving why he's one of the drivers you have to find a way to beat. But Danny Solo is going to be one to watch, absolutely. He's been one of those also leaning on that right rear tire. It takes a lot of skill to fly to the field, even though he had a couple lap fresher tires, mind you. That's still a lot of pace behind the wheel of the 13 here.
Now he's going to kind of level it all out here. I think, honestly, if we went green there, he would have been the man to beat. The caution staying out hurt him in the short run, able to really rebound there and come back.
Scandinavian driver going to be one to keep an eye on for this restart, absolutely. Quietly, by the way, in all this, Ryan Kilbashian is up amongst the front runners. Jared Davis is also amongst the top 5 now. You mentioned Kilbashian earlier. He's just been quietly hanging out just at the edge of the first pack, if not the second pack.
You gotta do what you gotta do, and see a lot of these drivers in the top 10 having a pretty calm and quiet race for the most part. But I think the Weiss has kind of emerged as the favorite, and he's going to take it head-to-head here with Michael Curran.
I'd like to remind you tonight's action is brought to you in part by Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment. Maconi Setup Shop is the home for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more. Here with the iRacing service. Scripts available as low as $8 a month. Once again, Maconi Setup Shop, the official setup shop of eNASCAR, official series sponsor for the NASCAR C Fixed Series. For those who want to sign up, be sure to go to MaconiSetupShop.com/Fast Fridays to learn more about Fast Fridays. To learn about Maconi Entertainment, you can watch live broadcasts, learn about what we broadcast and more by going to MaconiEntertainment.com. You can fill out our broadcast interest form to see if your league or special event can be live on the air on the network. Coming up to 28 to go. Some great racing up at the front of the field. Some good battling all throughout the pack. Michael Curran, Braxton DeWeese amongst the favorites. They've led much of the way. We'll see who's able to control this race now. One of the players, Dustin German, out of the event. Right at the end of the restart zone, green flag is out, back underway. Some tire spin mid-pack.
Curran going to use that tire spin from the cars behind him. Able to get a decent lead going into turn 1. As Carter Casey steals second from Braxton DeWeese, and Daniel Solo sliding right on by too.
Solo now looking for third. Carter Casey already able to jump up the second spot. We'll see what DeWeese now has to do now that he's going to have to deal with some traffic for a big part for the first time in a little while. Curran uses the clean air to his advantage.
DeWeese able to get around Soto for third. Has Carter Casey in his sights. Hope it's not looks like the peanut butter and try and get around the Reese's Pieces machine. Carter Casey goes low to cut. The draft comes back up. Playing the snake game doesn't bother DeWeese at all.
Oh, that's wow. Jared Davis trying to wrap the bottom. See him in the back wrap. Solo looking for the top 5, and Danny Solo wants them to fight. Now here comes the run. 3 wide is Tigner.
And Tigner backs out of it. Falls back behind Jared Davis, and that's Andrew Chapman running the high lane. Trying to get momentum as here comes Davis again, side by side off the corner. Davis in the 4, Chapman in the 31, and they're going to be almost dead nuts even across the line there for that 5th position.
For the lead, side by side up in front of them, Carter Casey is going for it for the first time tonight. Carter Casey looking for his first lead laps up front. Curran still has the power up on the top side.
Carter Casey trying to make it happen here. In the second half of this race, he wants to lead a lap, and he's got the best shot right here, running the low lane. Doesn't go below it, doesn't bobble, doesn't make a mistake, gets run out of the corner. It's not going to be enough to lead the lap low.
Especially with that speed up on the top side off the corner exit once again. Carter Casey has been just lurking in the backdrop, Watching all this battling, you're in third or fourth spot much of the race. He's got the fastest lap of the race, mind you, in the 37.8.
Here's a crazy fact. They're actually slower than their qualifying time. I believe Joseph Spillman in the back 41 machine. They have a bobble. Slower one, able to keep it going straight though, which is running really slow back there. Side by side though, off the corner for the lead in front of them.
Again, Casey not able to make it work. Trying to get some side draft in though, try and pull the 15 back. Now trying to push him out the racetrack. You see some of the spread starting to build up in this pack. Danny Solo, by the way, maintaining fourth spot as they keep side by side up front.
Solo trying to run down to Weiss and company. Casey's trying to make a sweet move here for the lead, and Curran trying to hang on. Curran running the middle lane, trying to not allow Casey to get the run off the corner, able to play the same game and deal the same hand again. Coming off a turn 4, Curran going to be able to lead the lap here, and nothing Carter Casey can do.
Nothing can Dweez do either. Just watching along in the wings, just trying to see what Casey's next move is, if there's going to be a mistake. But there's one. He's got himself a run with the bobble. Now Curran trying to force them to fight.
Casey falls back here, now fighting for second. Weiss running that middle lane, trying to steal that second spot from Casey. Here comes Braxton DeWeese, a young gun, a young prodigy. Hasn't won a registered hosted race or league race. That's posted on Sim Racer Hub, the leading scorer and statistic for league and hosted races since 2022.
Runs a lot of leagues though, and we've seen him win some events here at iRacing and Maconi Entertainment before. He's got himself some good speed here. It's just going to be the matter of how he plays things with the way things are going. Danny Solo to third. Caution flag is out. Is Brandon Burkhart. The 24's around.
Madison back here to battle for 19th. Not going to be any contact. Just leaning on the right rear. About 10 laps into run as the magic number of these guys start to really fall off. So, just going to bring the caution out. We're going to re-rack and restack and go green with less than 20 laps to go.
The Rex inspired paint scheme getting massively loose. The apron is pavement here, which can bring the caution flag out in this case. And so that sets us up with less than 20 to go when we get back going green. Let's take a break. When we come back, more coverage. You're watching Fast Fridays on Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to iRacing's virtual Michigan International Speedway for more coverage of Fast Fridays, presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Tonight's action has been exciting here from Michigan. Justin Prince, Brayton Laster with you, DJ Line producing. It is now Curhan controls things up front, second spot. Last time by went to Deweese. Daniel Solo was in the conversation at the top of the caution flag. Looks like we're getting set for a restart. Looks like Danny Solo get that scoring loop up to second for this upcoming chance. Your thoughts so far tonight, Brayton, as we approach the home stretch?
And nothing less than what we expected. It has been a drag race between your top 4 or 5 drivers, Curran, Solo, DeWeese, and Carter Casey. And I think Daniel Solo is the closest he's been after a very eventful first half of the race. The driver from Scandinavia, that's not where he's from, Scandinavia, going to try and get a win here tonight.
Runs a lot of league races, especially up in Sweden. Spotter Eric Blix, one of his teammates that also runs many league races with him. Have to see what the spotter calls are like. So they're going to get some interesting moments here. That track temperature is soaring higher and higher, Brayton.
Something to watch here. See about 10 laps is that magic number for the right rear really starts to fall off for the guys in the middle, the back half of this field, and guys up front start struggling as well. So we're going to be going green about 18 laps, so you maybe expect a caution, I'd say around the half point of this run. At that point, it becomes tires or not.
Going up to this restart. In control, once again, is Curhan. Danny Solo in second. Big shout out to Nick Hicks from 24th to 5th. Green flag is out. Not a good restart for the 22. Great restart for the top 2 rows as Deweese tries to go to second easy.
Curran able to lead the field in 1. Deweese able to steal second from Solo, and they're going to be 2 wide side by side behind them. That's Chapman on the bottom and Carter Casey at the field flying through the corners.
Trying to break some draft right now as it's side by side for the 3rd spot. Casey wants that point back. Danny Solo wants that spot to stay his from the outside.
Rushing to Wieslow, the driver from that red 8. They're all trying to get the draft. They're going to be 3 wide behind him for 3rd. Solo able to get that 3rd spot across the line, but here comes Chapman splitting Carter Casey.
Slides in front of both of them. Why not? If they're stalling each other out, it's prime real estate.
Yeah, it's Casey now with the crossover, with the comeback, trying to make the move, going into turn 3, coming to 16 laps to go for your leader, Curran. He's got no company yet, and Chapman is hanging all out, hanging too much out, starts to come down the track, about collects Carter Casey, and trying to regain his footing here as Daniel Solo sees a bit of a bobble, and side by side.
They keep racing though as we see some of the others in the lines. Buddy Waters looking for the top 10. Ryan Kilbashian is the top 10.
We've had a big bobble in the back. They were able to keep it going, but something happened to the 30 of Gerald Indirect. He's going about 100 miles an hour down the backstretch. Field able to miss him and restay green. 30 car now takes it to the pit lane.
Some of the others continuing on. Troy Burke towards the back of the field, running in the 20s. Bad line. Here comes Romano. He checks up instead.
Romano spying his way for this position all over the back bumper of Troy Burke. Trying to fly by the 2 of these guys. That's Timothy Triplett in the 57. Triplett into the wall. And Romano says goodbye, have a good day, enjoy the fries. He's going to serve him up a fancy order there.
Yeah, not the fanciest of racing lines right now. But meanwhile, Nick Hicks, he's in trouble. Contact Kilbashian. Caution flag is out. Kilbashian hard across the track. Hicks into the wall.
Kilbashian trying to limp it back to pit road. See the 26 here of Hicks literally mangled that pit road entrance. I don't think that car can go straight. And the replay, see what happens. 26 of Nick Hicks. not from movie cars. That's chick hicks. That's the 88, and that's a bobble. And a hard hit there for Sebastian. And I don't want to get the tarps out, but I think we've lost Ryan Sebastian here.
Hard contact for Mason C. Jones as well. That broke the axle. Let's take a look from Sebastian. Just got past lap traffic. And then all of a sudden, bam.
One of the hardest hits of Sebastian's virtual career here. Had a career night going, and we are restarting back in the pack. We had to pass to our left. It's gonna be, oh man. Oh, a lot of hit. That's what a hit. And you know, normally these cars are pretty yawed out, but this one's yawed out for all the wrong reasons. As Nick Hicks takes it to the garage.
Yeah.
Was that 720, 1080, 1400, 1800? I lost it.
I think that somehow broke the side skirts, actually. And I think we've just had a big shift here. Guess who pit? Michael Curhan just pit, and he sacrifices the lead. Most of the front runners did not come down.
Yeah, but the rest of the field did. Only 4 drivers stayed out, but those were some of the 4 fastest. As Vinny Tigner, Daniel Solo, Carter Casey, and Braxton DeWeese all stay out. They've made their bed. They've nailed their coffin shut, and they're going to try to hang on here for about 10 to 11 laps. I mentioned, JP, the right rear was going to fall apart about 10 laps in the run, but the caution came out just a couple laps before. Now Braxton DeWeese, mentioned, one of the youngest up-and-coming prodigies on the iRacing network. Couple hundred wins. It's been a couple years since he's won at this track, though, in a hosted league or session that's been registered over on Sim Racing Hub. But in a prime spot to find victory lane here tonight if he can hang on.
All right, seen some of the camera viewpoints earlier on from DeWeese, by the way. The trophy from last time out, sitting in that backdrop. What would it be like for him? You'd have to think if he can add a trophy friend, a second trophy to that other one for the trophy case. Yeah, right there with the trophy. That's one of those trophies to win.
Kid has more trophies than I do.
I'm sure you have trophies.
Yeah, I do. They're all in my closet. Yeah, participation trophies. You know, I've won a couple races back in my day. Let me tell you, Michael Curran on those fresh tires looked like that was going to kill his race, and then the rest of the field behind the front 4 all came down with him. Curran will be restarting 5th on new tires. The area Season 5 iRacing Cup champion, kind of a good shot in your pole sitter as well in the 15 to win this race.
Time to see what happens here for the top 4 who roll the dice here again.
I think it's about the lowest in the running order Michael Curran's been all night.
I think you're right. He's been running in basically the top 4 for most of this race, dropped to 4th for only a few laps. We'll see if the front runners regret the call here. If there's an air caution to be able to equalize things where we might see a lot of people roll the dice then.
Yeah, caution at this point is definitely gonna throw a lot of mix into it. As Mason C. Jones takes it to the garage, so he'll join a long list of DNFs, and that list at this point is only gonna get longer.
Just about ready to go for an 11-lap shootout here from Michigan, 22 miles. DeWeese and Casey on the front row. Green flag is out. Good restart for DeWeese. Danny Solo getting a push this time for Michael Curhan. The rest of the field zips to the restart zone as Danny Solo goes to 2nd.
And DeWeese hanging on for now. Cuts across the middle lane. Solo is holding up Curran, and he's got Chapman and company trying to get around this pack of worn out tires.
Alrighty, Curhan under attack from Tigner though. Curhan now using the tires from the high side. Still trying to find a way around those old tires. Still can't find a way around.
Vinny Tigner, that 20, hanging on for dear life. Caution flag comes out. He's going to save DeWeese and company for now.
Well, that was an eye-opening restart. Just didn't go anywhere, Curhan. One driver's in the grass, and Petrozel. So we're back under yellow for trouble in what was 9th.
That's just inside the top 10, and there's going to be 3-4 cars involved in this one. Starting with the 72 Ashton Pritchard, and that's the end of it there. He had some help though coming off of turn 4. That's going to be Ashton Pritchard, that red and black car on the bottom. They make a little bit of contact, but Pritchard comes up. The 58 has a checkup, gets ran over from Jeremy Briggs in behind, sends him spinning down the trail of grass, mowing that grass for free.
Yeah, a few people taking some hard hits once again. Petrozel obviously getting some of the worst of it in terms of damage, but field lives to keep the restart going. Ashton Pritchard does come into pit road this time for damage repair.
I don't think anyone was going to come down, at least in the top half of the field for tires. We saw Curran kind of stalled out there. Needs 2 or 3 laps to build a run, and time is ticking for the 15 machine.
It gets scoring loop absolutely in front of that 20. So we'll have to see. He's going to be able to keep marching forward. Should be able to on the freshies. Kilbashian got the lucky dog. This caution flag.
I'll try to go and move his way back up this pack. See what he's able to do though with only a couple laps left. He's running inside the top 10 most of the night. Just now, we'll get that lead that back in the 10 machine. Gonna be running about 25th.
She electing to take the tires here, looks like. To take the slow roll to pit road. So how do you make this pass for the race win? Because it's pretty clear that the inside line's been difficult to make the pass from. It's been good to make some moves on the outside to build up a swooping run for the front straightaway. But what would your move be in this situation?
I don't think Braxton DeWish is going to give it up easy. Neither is Carter Casey or Daniel Solo for second or third. Curran knows he's got the fresh tires. He's going to have to be able to use those fresh tires. Whatever lane a car from him leaves open, you got to take it and you got to work with it. And you know, if you're stuck on the bottom, you should have more grip and theory, so be able to get the drive off. You get the outside, able to get the momentum, get the draft, and make the move going into the next corner. So Curran might have to play the patience game here. I know it's going to be hard to do when time is ticking. He's running out of time. But if Michael Curran wants to win this race, he's going to have to be patient here and make one move at a time. Risk versus reward.
Just about set to go for the restart. DeWeese in front, Curhan the first on fresh tires, up in the 4th position. This one. We'll have to keep an eye on what this sees the drivers do here. 7 laps to decide it. Still 25 cars in the race. We've kept the car count high. Only a few DNFs tonight.
Say that one fast car saved a lot of guys. Mason C. Jones, Nick Hicks, Larry Eddy, Dustin German, and Steve McGill. Your 5 DNFs currently. So you're either in the garage or you got a shot to win it.
It's going to be a fun restart here. Louise has been really strong in the restart zone each restart so far. We'll see if he's able to keep up the act. Biggest mover, by the way, is a tie. Ron Holyfield up 14. Joe Monaghan is up to plus 14, back in 15th spot as well. To the restart zone. Does DeWeese swap it around? Yes, he does. Way early. Green flag is out. Tire spin from Casey.
Going back, Curran up a little bit. He's going to be stuck 3 wide as here comes Chapman and Tigner going to trap Curran up in the high lane and behind Carter Casey for a minute. Solo goes to block Casey. and they've got a train behind these 3 cars.
Still trying to snake his way around the racetrack. Solo trying to hold on to second. DeWeese holds on to his preferred line as Curhan now tries to take a poke for third.
Curran looking inside of Carter Casey, not able to get the run. He's got the draft now. It's a battle for the lead, though. Here comes Daniel Solo. Second wasn't good enough. He wants to win this race side by side, and then turn 1, Daniel Solo, new leader.
Side by side, DeWeese up the track. DeWeese pushed up out of the groove. Solo gets loose. Here comes the run for DeWeese as Curhan tries to find a way to get around either. Casey builds the run as well. Danny Solo trying to lay arc, makes contact with DeWeese's fender.
Here comes Michael Curran running the high lane. He's going to have the run off the corner. They're going to be side by side, though. Daniel Solo with that advantage. Michael Curran going to spin 3 wide. Gets blocked by Braxton. DeWeese falls back to 4th.
No place to go from anyone. Still side by side. Still a late arc from Solo. He's not giving space. He's trying to force a mistake from DeWeese. Less than 5 laps to go in Fast Fridays from Michigan.
DeWeese is trying to make his car about 5 lanes wide right now. Has a half car length advantage going into turn 3. Solo closes the gap, and here comes Michael Curran as well. Looking to pull the crossover move, pick up 2 birds with 1 stone. Michael Curran to the bottom, not able to get there, and Daniel Solo able to carry the momentum out of the corner.
Solo got the lead lap last time. Now they make more contact. Curhan looking to build the run this time. Might think about 3 wide. He trips instead. Solo trips as well. DeWeese gets clear down the back straightaway.
Curran trying to follow him through, trying to get around Daniel Solo for a second. Not able to get his nose out there yet. He's bringing Andrew Chapman and Carter Casey with him. Solo goes out the track, forces Curran to run a lane higher than previous. That's going to allow Braxton DeWeese to pull away.
Well, wiggling and bobbling. 3 laps to go. DeWeese right now clear. Offset 3 wide for a moment with Chapman and Casey. Now Curhan now is really taking advantage with the newer tires. DeWeese bring up some smoke pops. He's so loose as Carter Casey gets drop kicked.
DeWeese snaking down the back straightaway, trying to break the draft off of Michael Curran. Coming to 2 laps to go this time. Deep send by Michael Curran all over the back bumper of Braxton DeWeese. He goes a lane higher, trying to run the diamond line. DeWeese goes to block the air. A bobble by Curran.
Another bobble by DeWeese. 2 laps to go. DeWeese is all over the place. More blocking around in the back as Casey tries to hold on to a top 5. But the battle is on for $150 and a trophy. DeWeese opens the door. Curhan jumps through the door. Side by side down the backstretch.
It's going to be a drag race coming to the white flag. Michael Curran has the speed. He has the advantage. He has the bottom line. Goes straight to the yellow line. Bobbles a little bit. Starts sliding up the track. DeWeese will have a fighting chance. A bigger bobble by Curran as DeWeese closes right up to the back bumper coming to the white flag.
Final time around, run for DeWeese. White flag is out. This is for the win. DeWeese trying to give the arc to Curhan. Curhan trying to send it deep. They both slide. They both drift around a touch. Chapman waits for the outside. Near contact down the backstretch as Jared Davis joins the fun.
Jared Davis trying to win a trophy, trying to win $150 and trying to get this win here. He's running the yellow line. He's going to be 3 wide for the win, 3 wide for the lead coming off of turn 4.
For the lead, Davis trying to steal it. Jared Davis all race long had been running top 5. He steals the win on the final lap.
I was watching 5 laps ago. Davis was splitting cars, running the bottom lane, going 3-4 wide. He wasn't scared. He wasn't hesitating. He wanted it bad, and he got it.
Unreal, to say the very least. He had been not one of those in the main pack at some points. But as you said, sliced and diced his way through. As they were fighting heavily between Curhan and DeWeese, he just slips on by.
They had an opening, filled the opening, and seized the opportunity.
Thievery, as some people would say, at the line as those two focused on the battling. In the end, Davis able to steal it 3 wide for the win. My goodness, here at Michigan.
What's the gap between those three? Less than 1/10 of a second. 500ths of a second between those three drivers at the line.
What a finish. Let's take a break. When we come back, post-race coverage. You're watching Fast Fridays on iRacing Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to iRacing and Maconi Entertainment for coverage of the Maconi Setup Shop Fast Fridays. Here for this one from Michigan. Let's take the opportunity to look at your unofficial race results. In the end, Jared Davis takes the win with the last lap, last corner pass on DeWeese and Curhan. The difference between the top 3 under 6/100ths of a second. Andrew Chapman and Danny Solo in the top 5. Casey Argenio Tigner. Then Wineset and Romano, your top 10.
That Chris Wassler in 11th. Jeremy Briggs, nice little rebound for him. He's going to finish 12th. John Petrozel goes to the grass, finishes 13th. Buddy Waters, he's going to finish 14th. William Owens, 15th. Ryan Kabashian able to rebound nicely, move up 9 spots in the last restart cycle there to finish 16th. Justin Spillman in 17th. Brandon Burkhart in 18th. Troy Burke in 19th. And Joe Monaghan rounding out your top 20.
21st tonight with the way of Gerald Ingerick, then Timothy Triplett, Ron Holyfield, along with Corey Rayner, finished on the lead lap. A DNF for Pritchard, along with Jones, Hicks, Eddie, German, Steve McGaw were the top 30. The rest of the field did not take the green flag in the end for this one. So an interesting one to say the very least, Braden. Drivers still making their way over for tonight's post-race coverage. Your thoughts on this one?
Hey, we knew it was going to come down to the wire. We just didn't know who it would be. And Jared Davis surprised the entire field here. Able to get the win literally in the last corner, was slowly working his way up. He played his cards right. He dealt his hand. And just like that, took him $150 and a trophy.
I believe we do have DeWeese and Curhan standing by here. Still waiting for the race winner for tonight as well here for this one. Let's take the opportunity here to first bring in Braxton DeWeese. Braxton, so close. Last lap pass takes the win from the bottom. What was going through your mind as you were fighting with Curhan for the win?
just stay out front. Don't let him get out there to where he had an opportunity to get clear or just, go away with it. So I felt like we did a pretty good job with that in general there. I felt like after that last restart, I should have been a little bit better there to not let the 13 get to the inside. Wish I could have had a little bit more of a gap. I felt like that would have helped me a little bit more there in the end and just in general there for holding them guys off there. But them last 2 corners there going on the last lap, the other guys, they sent it in there, but, I really didn't think that it would work for me. I could probably send it in there, but I'd have to check up a lot, and I'd just have to check up way too much, and I'd be out of it. So I try to put ourselves in a spots where we could still be to the inside or just to where we could side draft and hold them there. The car on the inside got a pretty good run in 1 and 2 and was in a pretty good spot in 3 and 4 to be able to, just run the bottom and, be nice and smooth. And he was able to do that and come home with the win. So it's unfortunate, a little upsetting, but, to have a race like that's always fun to have and to be able to race with people like Michael, Jared, and a couple of the other guys up there at the end is always nice to have. So a hell of a race anyway. So we'll take a second. I wish we could have went back to back, but a second's always good enough.
One thing I've noticed too with this combination is you have to be careful in the right rear. What was that in terms of being able to try and save the tires? What was that balance like to try and make sure you didn't burn the right rears off in the very end?
Yeah, for sure. That last restart, or that last pit stop, I should say, I took a little bit less fuel, tried to tighten it up a little bit if I could. Just try to push a little bit harder and not lean on the right rear as much. I felt like if the longer the run went, obviously the more of the effects of burning the right rear off you were going to feel. So we couldn't really get that long of a run to like around like 20, 25, 30 laps to be able to see the differences in how people save the right rears and how they burn them off and whatnot. But, with the short runs right there, you want to make sure you're able to, send it as hard as you can really. And not really try to burn up the right front or not try to burn up the right rear too much. Just try to keep up the pace as much as possible and try to, keep the wear on the tires both the same. Cause you don't want to, if that keeps going green and you're pushing so hard, you don't want it to tend one way real quick if you keep pushing it real hard and then kind of screw yourself at the end if it goes green. So, I felt like we did an all right job of it. I wish we could have done a little bit better there. But, you always can go back, watch, learn, try to improve for next time and try to be one spot better.
Once again, Braxton, congratulations on the top 3 run. Anyone who want to give a shout out here too tonight?
Yeah, most definitely. A big shout out to Bennett's Public Co on the car, as well as Interstate 4, Downs Arts Images, Three Dips Ice Cream Shop, Jane's on Main, Deweese Renovations, Adrenaline Captures, Booth 34 Diecast, Short Track Report, Scrubbing Tires Media, Blaze Designs, as well as Evan Pineda Designs, and Bully Dog Coffee Company. You can use Brax5 for 10% off over there for whatever coffee you're going to try, or if you've already had, you can use that code, I believe, multiple times over and over. So, I appreciate him. I appreciate everybody else that supports me, everybody that tuned into the broadcast. Maconi and everybody else that puts on these Fast Fridays. This is my second one, and we were able to win the first one at Five Flags with Super Late Model and get second here tonight. So it's been nothing but positive, reviews for me, I guess you could say, in these past 2 races. They've been pretty good races. So, we'll just try to see what the next one is when the schedule's released for the next upcoming Fast Fridays and see if we can make it and try to be one spot better, like I said.
Congratulations once again on the top 3 here, Braxton.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Braxton Deweese coming away in second. Michael Curhan, he came close as well. He finishes top 3. He's with Brayton.
And Michael, you played that late pit strategy, able to get a shot at the lead, side by side, and elbows out for the last couple laps. Ultimately, though, you bring it home third. Tell us about your race here tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid race throughout for me. I didn't really get shuffled back, really just at the very beginning, I suppose I did. Kind of got back to 3rd and 4th, but was really liking how the race was going, was, battling really for the top 2 for most of the race. And then, yeah, that late race kind of strategy with tires, I wasn't too sure how that was really going to play out. I saw most of the field came down to pit road with me with about 10 to go there, and So I thought that was pretty good, but yeah, the tires just didn't quite have enough juice in them, enough of a difference from the top 4 to get me across the line in first. I was really kind of surprised by that. I thought I really thought I was going to be able to pass him pretty quickly and pull away, but lo and behold, we were 3 wide coming out of turn 4 to the line. So, yeah, I was really focused on Braxton, just on my inside. And then all of a sudden I got the call that we were 3 wide coming out of 4. And so, Jared snuck by us both. So, congrats to him. That was, one heck of a race, with Braxton. I battled Braxton most of that race, and, hats off to him. He drove the absolute wheels off that car, and it was a great battle, the whole race with him.
I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but you have one of the quickest laps of the race. You lead the most laps. You set the pole. And ultimately, coming home third like this, does it sting a little bit, or knowing that you were just right there going forward?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I did everything but win the race, I suppose. But I mean, this is one where just the battle was just it was so much fun. We were just ripping around this track. The track was cool, so it had a lot of grip until it didn't. The car just would all of a sudden kind of kick out on you. So you really had to be careful of that. But no, it's one of those where like it stings a little bit, but. That was just one heck of a race. I just had a ton of fun with this one. So it stings a little, but I don't think I'll cry at least tonight.
Well, we appreciate you putting on a great show, and it was a great show here to watch. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly, Jeff Maconi, Maconi Setup Shop, Maconi Entertainment, for putting on this awesome series. It's always a blast, kind of trying out all the different car and track combinations that are rotated throughout the season here on Fast Fridays. You guys up in the booth, you guys always do an awesome job. Everyone tuning in to watch, appreciate all the viewers out there. And I do want to give a shout out to Area Racing League as well. I didn't even realize Braxton was in this race until a few laps into the race. He's also part of Area, so we got a 2-3 finish out of it at least. And yeah, again, just thanks to Maconi and everyone at Maconi for putting this together. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. I'm sure we'll see you next time.
All right. Appreciate it, Braden. Thank you.
That's Brayton, or rather, that's Braxton DeWeese and Michael Corhan. Yes, you are Brayton, who took the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on iRacing Maconi Entertainment. Your final thoughts on tonight, Brayton, as we've seen a lot of styles of racing. In the end, Jared Davis rips it away with the only lap led in the final corner.
Yeah, that win and that finish was definitely shocking. I'll tell you what really blew me away was how prepared Braxton DeWeese was. I spent a lot of time obviously in the NASCAR and the ARCA garage, and I've given a lot of interviews, I've seen a lot of interviews, and that kid right there gave a very professional interview, had the sponsors lined up, had the pit board or the sponsor board behind him. I'm excited to see what the future holds for that young man.
It's going to be an exciting night here, to say the very least. In the very end, though, Jared Davis is the one who's able to take the checker flag here tonight for Fast Fridays. But it's just about time to say goodbye. I'd like to thank tonight's race sponsors, Maconi Setup Shop, Maconi Competitive Zone. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Brayton Laster in the booth. DJ Line was producing. Thank you to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. Hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next Fast Fridays race. Don't forget to tune in each week for our broadcast of the top split, the Maconi Fixed Series. This has been a Rex from Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you at the checker flag.